Hey there, have you ever heard of Pink Flamingos? It's a movie from 1972 that's packed with funny, shocking, and even sad moments. Trust me, you won't be bored watching this one. Pink Flamingos, directed by John Waters, is a film that's not afraid to push boundaries. It's all about a competition between some pretty eccentric characters who will do just about anything to be named the filthiest people alive. Now, let me ask you something. When did you first see this movie? Or is there a scene that stuck with you long after the credits rolled? We're curious to know about your own experiences with Pink Flamingos. Share your cherished memories or personal stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. So, buckle up and get ready for a wild ride filled with laughs, gasps, and maybe even a tear or two. Keep watching for some surprising facts about this cult classic. In reflecting on Pink Flamingos, I recognize its intent and the visceral reactions it aims to provoke. Throughout, there's a palpable sense of disgust, although some of the practical effects may not hold up to contemporary standards. The film, however, lacks a certain depth. Its narrative feels weak, and while the main character possesses a magnetic presence on screen, I found it challenging to muster much sympathy or antipathy towards them. The movie seems to revel in its provocations without delving into the emotional core of disgust. It comes across as empty provocation, a showcase of repulsion without meaningful exploration. While it holds historical significance for pushing boundaries in its time, it now feels more like a cultural relic appreciated primarily within the context of its era. Its tagline, an exercise in poor taste, feels misplaced considering the film's technical shortcomings such as acting, editing errors, and an overabundance of songs. Moreover, the film's attempt at trashiness feels contrived, robbing it of some of the potential enjoyment. It appears to be written around a character rather than a cohesive narrative, lacking evolution or depth. While certain lines and moments may be memorable and meme-worthy, they don't compensate for the overall lack of substance. Admittedly, my perspective may be influenced by contemporary standards, but I believe it's essential for audiences to assess art on its merits rather than simply as a product of its time. In summary, while I understand the appeal of Pink Flamingos, it ultimately failed to resonate with me. The movie underwent changes for its 1997 re-release. Notably, the music in the party scene was altered, replacing 16 candles with Happy, Happy Birthday, Baby. Originally, John Waters aimed to have a man named Mr. Ray as the narrator. Mr. Ray, known for his hair weave radio ads and Baltimore accent, declined. Waters then voiced the narration himself. Mimicking Mr. Ray's tone as Mr. J in the late 1990s, Pink Flamingos aired on Turkish TV after a 2-week promotional campaign. However, the broadcast was only 42 minutes long, with over half of the content censored, despite being advertised as the most controversial movie of all time. In a notorious 1972 film, certain actors chose to remain nameless. The singing asshole, for example, opted to withhold his identity from the credits, even though director John Waters respected this decision. However, after the asshole's passing in 2020, his name, David Gluck, was revealed by Waters with permission from Gluck's widow. While some actors vanished from the screen after Pink Flamingos, others like Danny Mills and Linda Olgeirson, who portrayed Crackers and Linda, respectively, chose not to pursue further acting opportunities. Similarly, many party guests and extras from the film never graced the silver screen again, their sole appearance being in this unconventional masterpiece. In one memorable scene, Divine, portraying the character Babs, brought authenticity to her performance by defecating in a box the night before filming. This unconventional method stirred genuine reactions from the cast, showcasing the dedication to realism in Waters' production. In the lesser-known details surrounding the film, a character named Patty Hitler emerges from deleted scenes. She's a confidant of Divine, clad in Nazi regalia, revealing the whereabouts of Connie and Raymond. Although excised from the final cut, she subtly lingers in the birthday party scene's background. The vehicle of choice, a 1957 Cadillac Coupe de Ville, adds a vintage flair to the gritty narrative. Vincent Peranio, the production designer, sheds light on the resourcefulness of the art department, working with a mere $200 budget. Half was allocated to procuring the trailer, the rest to embellishing it. Creativity ensued when funds dwindled, resorting to resourceful acquisitions. Amidst the lively atmosphere of New York's art scene, a surprising recommendation stirred the curiosity of a celebrated filmmaker. This cinematic suggestion pushed boundaries and caused quite a stir when it graced the theaters, even prompting some venues to provide special bags for the audience.
This unexpected move added to the film's mystique, solidifying its place in the Criterion Collection.
Its lasting charm lies in its ability to captivate and provoke discussion among audiences and drawing them into its eccentric world. The unconventional narrative challenges societal norms, leaving a lasting impression on viewers. In the 1972 movie, the budget was so tight that the director couldn't afford B-reels. The work print became the master copy. Director John Waters penned a sequel titled Flamingos Forever, set 15 years after the original, featuring Babs' return to Baltimore with Cotton Cracker's Miss Edie and her grandson Dwayne, an 8-year-old transvestite. They face off against Connie Marble's sister Vera Veninger and her husband Wilbur, a necrophile who runs a mortuary. Despite an offer to finance the film for $600,000 from Troma Films, it never materialized due to Edith Massey's death and Divine's desire for different roles. The screenplay for this work is available with those of Pink Flamingos and Desperate Living in a collection called Trash Trio. Connie and Raymond's car belong to a jive-talking black man Waters met during pre-production. In exchange for using the car, Waters tried to incorporate the man into scenes, featuring a magic mirror where Connie would ask Mirror, Mirror on the wall, who is the filthiest of them all? The intended response, Divine is, from a black pimp in a zoot suit and fedora, was cut due to technical difficulties. In another film by John Waters, a chicken is famously killed on screen, which was also seen in one of his earlier works, Mondo Trasho. After filming a shocking scene where someone eats dog feces, Divine called the hospital hotline, pretending to be a worried parent to ask about health risks. Surprisingly, she was told that the worst thing that could happen was getting white worms. Interestingly, the character Ursula from Disney was inspired by Divine. The film continues to affect popular culture in unexpected ways. In Pink Flamingos, John Waters initially intended for a man named Mr. Ray to narrate the film. However, Mr. Ray declined, leading Waters to record the voiceover himself, imitating Mr. Ray's distinctive Baltimore accent as Mr. J. Additionally, there's a scene where Cookie mentions a tabloid story about someone being released from jail, prompting Divine to remark that she hasn't heard that name in years. This was a nod to Divine's real name, Harris Glenn Milstead. Furthermore, actors David Lochary and Mink Stoll took a hands-on approach to their characters' appearances, with Lochary even reportedly coloring his hair blue using a magic marker. These behind-the-scenes details add layers to the film's unique charm. In the story, a group of characters drives around in a cool old car while dealing with some wild situations. One of the main characters gets into trouble for stealing something, but she claims it's because she was really getting into her role in the movie. The director, known for his bold and funny movies, has made a big impact on American cinema. Two of his films, Pink Flamingos and Hairspray, are seen as important by experts. They're known for making people think and laugh at the same time. The director isn't afraid to do things differently and make people think. He wants viewers to question what's normal and accept people who might seem a bit different. His movies keep being important to people, making them think about being themselves and valuing the special things about life.